Okay.
All right.
And here we go.
So, are we live on Facebook and also YouTube? Is that what it is?
So I'm double checking Facebook right now. And hi, everybody. If
Hello,
you're
everybody.
probably watching.
How's
So
everyone?
just bear with us one moment because there's a setting that I have not quite figured out where when we go live on Facebook,
Yeah, can you explain to me?
it doesn't make us public. It just is up like a private thing.
Okay. Then we got to look this up online because it keeps happening.
Yeah.
You have to change it. in the
Every
middle
time.
thing.
Here we go. But we are, for the first time, live on YouTube.
All right, cool.
Woohoo. And, I mean, I can check. I don't know. We should be live on Facebook right now. Hello, everybody. Both on my page and on the Couple Shift on Facebook. If you haven't joined the Couple Shift on Facebook, make sure to follow that page.
Yes.
And, of course, subscribe to the podcast.
How you
Hello,
doing?
my darling.
Hi, baby. How you feeling?
Happy Monday. I'm in a fiery mood.
Yes.
You don't say.
You don't say. We're going to go ahead and begin.
Cue it. Hello, friends.
Welcome to the Couple Shift.
I'm Maria Aleandra.
And I'm Jules.
And we are a husband and wife team on a mission to shift the way we live our lives and co-create what really matters.
We don't always agree, but together we're figuring it out.
Thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here. There we are. Live on YouTube.
So why don't you go ahead and explain to the folks what you're feeling?
Well, this can be described as, these periods of time happen for me. And it's like this
From time to time.
from time to time. And here's what I've come to learn about them. There's a difference between, obviously we can get in moods and shift in and out of moods, but there are certain moments when I feel this like rage of
It's over. Bye.
he's too afraid.
Dude, I'm so
You're never afraid of this, boo.
afraid
Well,
of what?
of my fiery rage.
I'm never afraid.
You were
always afraid.
You were
I am
musicking me out.
I was musicking you out. I'm always afraid because I don't know what's going to set you off. Sometimes it's small. Sometimes it's obvious.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nothing at all. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Collateral damage.
Yes.
You said that today, that I was collateral damage.
Indeed. So here's the thing. There's a period right now, and I actually love the fact that it's, I want to talk about it because I don't think very many women allow themselves to be in the space of, there's this rage that sometimes comes where things just get to like fall away and change.
Uh-huh.
And when we don't, it's like, you know what it is? You'll appreciate this. It's like the naturally occurring forest fires that are there to purge. He thinks it's hysterical.
I don't think it's hysterical.
It's like the naturally occurring forest fires, naturally occurring, let's be clear, that as you've taught me many times.
They're needed to clear the brush and to put nutrients back in the soil.
Exactly.
So you're saying.
And there is collateral damage when that happens.
You're right. Well, yeah, there goes some houses for some little animals and trees. And
a couple chipmunks
a lot of things die.
Might, a rabbit or two, a deer or two might get it. So, and not to make light of, again, and I'm talking about naturally occurring phenomena like that just, so for women, we tend to not embrace those aspects of rage and this anger that comes up from a space of things just need to shift. And one of the things I've learned to do is, how do I, when I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, and today I'm realizing, oh, that's what it is. Yesterday I was in a really prickly, annoyed mood. What?
Nothing.
Oh.
You see? You see?
No, because I thought you were giving me like a hand gesture. So, and we had a lovely day yesterday with a couple of friends. Skyler's godparents came with their twins. And so we had and it was a lovely day. But I could sense that I was like in and out of this space. It was hard for me to sleep last night. This morning I woke up and I was, just journaling and being with the feelings. And I'm like, wow, like what's happening now is there's these periods of sort of like an inner purging that happens. And it tends to be when there's just something that gets to shift. And so there are certainly some endings coming and there are new beginnings coming. And in that process, part of that is that sacred rage. So I want to bring up this lady.
Jesus.
Exactly. This is Kali. She is both the goddess of destruction and creation. She's
quite terrifying.
And she's not taken any SHIT from anybody, as you can see. She says, I release all that doesn't serve me. Mm-hmm. It's time to be the truth of who I am.
Okay.
And so, and I will also mention, like we said before in a couple of times, that with Tom, our therapist / spiritual counselor, love you, Tom. He brought it up with you. He brought it up with me. He's like, you know what? You're going through MA. You're going through the FU revolution. With the full F. And I was like, you're right.
The full F.
I don't want to say it because now we're live in multiple places.
Okay, awesome.
The full F. So the FU revolution, which means, and it's not comfortable, and it's not, and we tend to disassociate from it, and we tend to detach from it because we've been taught to swallow our feelings. We've been taught to swallow whatever is not serving us, is not aligned with us. We will people please our way out of things. We'll hide things under the rug, in the closet, and we do that. And we do that consistently. That's what we've been shown. It's what we've been taught. And this is a call for anybody out there to fully embrace everything that's coming up for you and to know how to channel it into, okay, I understand what's happening here and what gets to be pruned from my life.
You don't think the channeling needs a little work?
Define that for me.
The channeling of it needs a little work, I think.
My specific channeling.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Because I get attacked, and it's like sometimes fine.
Yesterday it was like nothing. It was not. Nothing was making sense. So, but today what I'm saying is I have this realization of like, oh, this is what's happening. Okay. So now I have that with that awareness. It's like, okay, then. So how do I take? I get to take responsibility for that period, and also I get to communicate it with you, so that
you were saying that it was like a war, and I was like a wounded soldier, and and I didn't understand what was going on. You're just trying to carry me, and you're getting pissed at me because I'm like, what's going on?
Well, you just mix things right now.
I did.
Yes.
I thought it was similar topics in the sense of what you're feeling inside.
What I'm saying is that I was taking it out on you, but it is a deep-rooted anger that I have that's not about you. I'm taking it out on you. It's not about you. And I said, but the reasons why I have this anger within me and this need to speak my truth and burn some shit down.
Me.
No. Are you listening to me? Open your ears, my friend.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, I know.
The reason why I am taking it out on you, so I get to take responsibility for not, hurting you too much in the process.
Oh, too much.
But here's the thing: is the metaphor of the war is, I was like, wow, it's like there's a war going on, and I can kind of see the bigger picture of the war, and you and I are like we are in the trenches together, and you just got hurt. Okay. You got hurt, so you're fine. You're gonna make it, but you got hurt, and I'm like, well, of course I'm not gonna leave him here. And you can't see the same sort of like the vastness. You can't zoom out, see the reality of this war because you're injured.
Or I'm preoccupied with something else. It's probably more important to me at that moment.
That, and also you're just not that aware of it, even if you hadn't been injured.
Oh, so I'm just like
No, you're perfectly fine.
Naive about what's going on around me, or
naive about what's going on around you, but I may have a bit of a different clue. I may have been given access to more information. It doesn't mean you're less than or naive, or it's just I have access to a little bit more of an understanding of, oh, what's happening here? Hold on. And so you get hurt, and I'm like, okay, I got it. And at times I'm gonna kind of, it's like a soldier running through, and there's bombs exploding, and I'm kind of like dragging you. You may get your head bumped a couple times.
Oh,
but ultimately you will make it, because otherwise, ultimately you will make it.
So you're beating me, but for my own good kind of sense. I mean, you're not beating me up, but I know, but you're being rough with me.
I'm not being rough with you. You're getting roughed up because of
what's the difference?
Like collateral damage.
Yeah, exactly. I'm being roughed up, and
collateral damage.
Yes, and I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it because it's, there's times that you feel like you're skating on thin ice. So it's like, you're like, if I do something that's not in that direction, for example, what you're saying about the war, of like, we need to go here, and I decide to look at something else in another direction. And this is a weird analogy, but the point is, you get pissed and you're like, no, we need to focus here. This is our main thing. I know better. I know this is what we need, but you know what I mean? I don't know. It's probably going sideways.
It's getting very esoteric.
Oh, there it is. The word of the
year.
It's not the word of the year.
No, it's not the word of the year. Our word of the year is transparency.
And that's what we're talking about.
And that's why we're being transparent.
And I being at
we are not at war. We are fighting the same war. This is an important part of the analogy.
Yes.
We are fighting the same war, but there are moments when you will be collateral damage, because it's like, I'm like, oh, and it's not even that I'm just trying to get us out of the war. It's not that I'm trampling over you. Can I say what
you got mad at me this morning about?
Sure.
Okay. So I go and walk the dog.
Transparency.
I go and walk the dog, and I'm heading out, and this is a 5-minute thing just to get her out. I've gotten this dog trained to a point that it's like, let's go pee and poop now. And I'm not walking an hour and a half until you figure out where's a nice spot. So she's pretty quick. So I go outside. I see, actually, I didn't see you park, but you called me, and I turn around, and you're like, oh, I'll go with you to the park. And I'm like, all right, it's going to be quick. That's all I said. That's the first thing I said. So already her pressure's boiling, because this injured soldier here decided to
does not appreciate me.
See, that's
and me wanting to connect with you.
See, that's what
have a nice little moment with you.
The situation is, the person, me, does not see it that way. I don't see it in that way. Anyways, so you don't say anything, and we start walking over. I open the door, and the thing is, with this gate to the park, it's messed up. It's completely messed up, and I have to use, besides the fact that it's hard for me to turn keys, I have to use pliers to hold the key and turn the key.
But how you figured that out is pretty genius, because I can't open that either.
Yeah, no, I know it's hard. Can't open the door hard, either, period. But using the pliers actually makes it easy, and you can do it. So I open the door, and then I always leave it cracked open, so I don't have to open it again, because on the other side, the door's deadbolt key from the park side is completely broken. It doesn't work. So even if it did work and it was a pain, it would, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even work. So you have to put the key around the gate and turn. It's a pain in the ass. It's just annoying. And so the door closes, and I go, oh, did you let the door close? And she's like, I don't know. I don't think so. And then it was like something like, nope, I'm not going to take that. You know what? You just go ahead. And those are her words. And I'm like, are you serious? And she just stood there. And I was like, okay. And this is where I get collateral damage, because I didn't say anything necessarily evil or mean or what's the word? Berating you or whatever. I didn't say anything necessarily bad. I didn't even say it with an attitude. I was just like, oh, did you let the door close?
See, you're never going to do a proper impersonation.
That's not true. That's not true, baby.
The
no.
tone.
But
so
the thing
this is a moot point.
But your colleague was already out. Has been out. So you probably are seeing and hearing it with a tone that doesn't exist. That's what I'm saying.
It's possible.
Of course it's possible.
I went at it with I go at most of things. It's like, oh, how nice to just connect with him. I know it's fast. You've been taking her out really fast. She's like a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
And still, I was like, oh my God, how cute. There's my boo. Go over there. And all I'm hoping for is, sure, honey.
You're sure me? And I'm like, let's go pick flowers. And
yeah, babe. He thinks I want us to go skipping down the path.
You do. You do.
Be nice.
Yeah, you see? You do. You do.
But I say, oh, wait for me, honey. And you're like, this is going to be fast. And already I'm like, oh, God. Here it is.
I said it's going to be fast.
Here it is. Pop all the bubbles.
But there's no bubbles being popped. Sometimes I say the obvious, and that can look like, I will admit that it can look like I'm just being difficult. But I wasn't trying to be difficult there.
You never are, though.
Listen, Callie.
This is very worthy. This is a great excuse.
All right. So then, you know what? I think we can segue to what I wanted to talk about. There was a thing that you told me that you were was it reading or was it
It was article? A post on Instagram.
Okay, so it was a post on Instagram of a coach or something, or
I don't know what she's a mom, and she's not somebody I know. She's somebody I followed or whatever.
And she had
not particularly a huge follower of her, but
right, and she had different ways of using better phrases to your kids, so it doesn't come out as negative.
Yes, so she did like a little reels.
So I think this situation kind of applies, except towards Skyler.
Okay, well, okay.
What I mean is, what I said comes off to you, especially in the mode that you're in. If I said it in a different way,
yeah, but I don't think it's the same.
Okay, fine.
Because in this case, can I say it?
Oh yeah. No, sure. I just said okay, fine. But I want to hear you say what it is.
Yeah. So the mom did this like little reel, when they do like the little pointy thing where it's this or it's that. I kind of get annoyed at them unless they're really good and funny. They're not funny. Just don't bother.
Wait, so she's pointing at the screen and there's like augmented thing. It says like this or that. I never look at reels. I don't really.
It's like it says a phrase.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a new little thing. Well, it's not new, but it's new for Instagram. So she had this, it's like ways to talk to your kid. She has a young child. I think her daughter's like 2 or 3. She looks probably 2. She looks really young in the video.
Okay.
And she's like, okay, like, how to talk to your kid, like just respectful ways, even when they're little. When you say things like, for example, why are you crying? And the respectful way is, I can see that your feelings I can see you're feeling something. I understand. Or stop crying. And it's like, okay, well, let's talk about, even if it's a little kid, it's like, okay, well, instead of don't do this, what's the respectful way to react to your
negative
kid?
Or make them feel bad
I agree because I'm very much about that with Skyler. So she gets to the last one, and the last one, the disrespectful one, said, leave me alone. Like, if let's say you're trying to do something and your kid comes in and it's like, and you're just like, just leave me alone. Disrespectful, right? And I'm waiting here going, oh, like, what does she recommend? And the respectful response was, I love you. So instead of saying to your kid when you're like at your wit's end, and parents or anybody who's taking care of a young child, we all get this, when you're like, leave me alone. Like I'm
done with you.
You're like,
get out of here. Go,
So there are other, let's be real here and practical. There are other alternatives. Honey, mommy's working right now, or honey, give mommy a second. Okay. I'll tell you when it's time for us to talk.
Yeah.
We get to, practice patience, like all that stuff, which we practice with Skyler. And sometimes it's like, kid, just like go over there. Like,
just leave.
Go over there. But saying like the opposite of that is, I love you.
That's
And then I told Jules, and he's like, that's like the most passive aggressive
thing
I've ever heard.
It's so passive aggressive. It's
how is that the respectful way? Like,
that doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Give me an actual tool here that I can use.
Seriously, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I think sometimes we need to be a little.
Was like, oh my God, what do I say? I want to be so positive about this. It's like this toxic positivity that it's like,
yes.
Ugh.
I think sometimes we need to be abrupt.
Sometimes
I know you don't agree with that, but I think sometimes that you need to be like, all right,
there's a middle ground, and and when the kid has been like on you, like, my thing is I want to be able to look at Skyler in the eye and land it with him and explain why this is not cool.
Right.
Because I know if I just say, leave me alone, he's not going to give 3 craps.
That's about it. Yeah.
He actually is going to come back and for more. He's going to come and grab stuff. He's going to come and because that's how he's testing his boundaries. So
I think I've used that tactic though on you where I'm like, honey, I love you. But then I throw the butt. I think it's a similar tactic where you're like, I hate it when you say that.
Yeah.
Don't say some kind of negative critique after saying the word I love you.
Like, let's be real.
Like, that's the worst time to say it, apparently. Yeah. I understand.
And of course I love my child. But sometimes I want my kid to leave me alone. Yeah. So what is a good way to say that? And I mean,
leave me alone.
Me alone.
I think it's a very simple tactic here. Yeah, no, I find that so crazy.
And of course, there's degrees of that, right? There's like an epic, like totally nasty, like leave me alone. No,
but
and any kind. I mean, and leave me alone. Then the kid is like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
that's where you got to explain it a little bit and be like, okay, honey, right now, mommy needs some me time. Papi is this and this and that. What I tell Skyler that usually works because he understands the concept of quiet time is I'll say, mommy needs quiet time right now, and he'll be like, oh. Okay. Like, oh man. But he gets it. And so and yesterday something happened with him that you were telling him, to pick his things up. And I'm like, babe, tell him why. Oh, there was some like tissue paper on the floor from
that he ripped apart, and he was like, this is the ocean.
Jules is just like, yeah, exactly.
Because I was done.
He's being and on top of that, he's being creative. He's having fun. He's using his imagination. And this guy over here
I went in there to ruin the parade. Popping all the balloons.
Pop.
Everybody.
You don't just have one needle. You have like a multi-pronged. You have like one of those
I have a Gatling gun that's just shooting at all the balloons.
You have a bat with a ton of nails.
What?
Like that. Like the
Regan
guy from the zombie show.
Regan from freaking
I've never seen it, but
it's okay.
It's I've seen him.
Yeah.
And he'll just be like
Walking Dead.
Pop all the balloons.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't like balloon popping.
I don't like it either, but sometimes it needs to be done.
Yeah. This guy.
I'll pop all those balloons.
He's full of, you know what?
I mean, okay, yes. No, but look, you go through your Kali mode and I'll go through my rage mode as well, where I'm just like, I don't want anything. And one of the easiest ways to get me to that mood is when I see a freaking mess. When I see a mess, and he had shredded, what is that paper called? Tissue paper for like presents. All over the place.
What is that paper called?
What is this glorious
papyrus?
Thing? Papyrus. Yeah, man, I can't stand it. Cannot stand it.
And I'm like, he's a kid. Kids will do this. And he acts like Skyler is some idiot, evil,
easy. I don't think that at all.
Because
no, I don't.
I give him the benefit of the doubt, and you're like, no.
No, Skyler's is cunning and conniving.
He's very good.
So I don't know what you're talking about. You know that he is.
I know that he is.
So,
but you don't give him the benefit of the doubt of like picking up his stuff when he does.
Yeah, but he really didn't want to do it, and I was impatient.
And he will use every opportunity to resist.
That boy comes up with excuses. It's not even funny.
Oh, I wonder who he reminds me of.
Oh, here we go again. Kali's attacking again.
No, I'm not attacking. I'm just
pointing at me.
Just calling attention to.
Yes.
Story man. That's what I call Jules because everything.
I have an answer for everything.
He has a story and an answer for everything, and so I've a couple years ago started calling him Story Man.
Some people may appreciate that
because my goodness, this man can spin a tale like weave a web. And of course, now Skyler has that gift. And he's like, you, and I'm like, you're the same person.
I did.
You are the same. Like, Skyler has a lot of me, and Skyler has a lot of you. And I'm like,
he comes up with these answers. He comes up with these reasons, and I'm like, what?
Exactly.
What kind of BS are you pulling? And it's like, and he just goes with it, and he believes it.
And he's so like,
but he can't lie though.
Certain.
It's so funny. He can manipulate a situation, like try to manipulate what happened or what it is.
Yeah.
But if you ask him, did you put something away? And he knows he didn't. He was like, see? And he's smiling. And his smile basically says, yeah, no, I didn't do it. It's so clear as day that you can tell that he's just lying. Yeah. And he knows it. And then he's like starts laughing after we call him out on it. So
yeah, he's a funny one.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Speaking of funny one, yesterday he said something adorable, which I wrote down.
Oh, that's right. All right, let's end it with this.
So
this
he's and then afterwards he said something else that was funny. So he's quite a little comedian, and he likes to
comedian and sometimes philosopher.
Oh yes, philosopher, comedian, and he likes to perform in the sense that he knows he can get like smiles and laughs out of people.
Yeah.
He like turns it on, right? And yesterday he was saying something really funny, and I said, sometimes I'll tell him, oye, Skyler, tú estás funny. Like, Skyler, you're really funny. And then yesterday, this was on the dinner table, I said, Skyler, ¿tú quieres ser funny o quieres ser serio? Do you want to be funny or do you want to be serious? And he goes, yo quiero ser happy. I want to be happy. And Jules and I were like, oh my God, that was too cute.
Yeah.
And then later on,
what was the thing
we were telling him that we were asking him, like, why are you so cute? You asked him, why are you so cute? And he said, por mi pelo.
Oh, that's
because of my hair. Because Skyler has this adorably, like, delicious curl head of hair.
I hope we're not filling his head with stuff. It's already big enough.
Where did he get that?
I don't know.
I don't go around telling him, oh, you're so cute because your hair is cute.
Yeah, I definitely don't.
I'll tell him, like, you're freaking cute, kid. Like, but these answers, he comes up on his own.
I blame Abella.
Oh. Yeah, well, she thinks everybody's cute.
He's maravilloso.
She has flowers for everybody, which is the way it should be. And yeah, so he said that last night. I'm like, oh, por mi pelo.
Yeah, no, he says things all the time, and you're like, are you kidding me?
His hair is super long, and I've asked him a few times, let's cut it. And I know the way to maneuver Skyler, so it's not just that I'm waiting for him to tell me, Mommy, cut my hair. Like,
right.
I know how to get it, I know how to work around him.
You know how to work the situation.
But I've been asking him, and I asked him again this morning. He was like, no, Mommy. He wants it long. He wants it in a rocker. I think it's so cute. I have
a video where I recorded him, and I was like, he wanted his hair super long so he can like headbang. It's hilarious because he loves classic rock. It's the funniest thing. Yeah. He likes a lot of music, but he loves classic rock.
This morning, speaking of classic, and we'll end it with this. Every morning in the car, we listen to classical music. And usually he's very talkative in the car.
Yeah.
But this morning, he was in a zone. He was in a classical music zone. And then he goes like this with his hand. Like he's a little orchestra conductor. I'm not making this up. I am not making it up.
Why don't I get these things?
And he just sits there, and he's been quiet the entire ride. And I'm like, wow, did he fall asleep on me or something? Which he wouldn't do in the morning. But he's just sitting there like, and then he was looking at me for the longest time, like with a little smile. It was the most, I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. Because I looked in the rearview mirror, and he was just looking at me like, I love you, Mommy. Like, I imagine that's what was going on.
That's what you imagine.
Yeah. And then I get home.
Do you think
hey, okay, come with you.
Let's end it.
Fast.
There it is. And let's think about it. What
Ladies, you know what I'm talking about, right? Please tell me I'm not alone.
Do you fill your own balloons?
We're getting some likes
All right.
here.
Well, listen, do you fill your own balloons? You definitely do.
I carry my tank with me.
You carry your tank
everywhere
with you,
I go.
and you make your own balloons sometimes, maybe. Because what if, this is why I wish we had TiVo for life. And we can just rewind our lives and be like, let's go ahead and check the play. Let's get like it's a football game and we're gonna do instant replay. Let's go ahead and check that play that you described as is, and then all of a sudden you realize he's picking his nose. He's not giving a crap. He's probably farting in the seat that you don't even notice. and he's smiling maybe because he farted.
Are you just ruining my beautiful morning
I'm
thing?
just trying to tell you I'm being ultra exaggerated, obviously, because I do that well. But imagine that imagine that maybe that is also could have also been viewed, right?
Okay.
Instead.
So great. So through which filter would you like to see your life? The fart filter or the mommy I love you filter or papi I love you filter?
The point is when you run into something else where it's like what I said this morning was not that. I mean, we're still dealing with this, guys, as you can see live. What I said to you this morning was not that big of a deal in the sense of I wasn't being a complete ass. You want to give me a little bit of a smart ass? Fine. I'll accept that. But I wasn't being a complete ass. A little bit
of a smart ass is too much of a smart ass.
There it is.
Especially when I'm trying to be an adorable wife and keep you company. But see, that's the thing. These are the things that women appreciate, but men are like, what?
Yes.
Because if it had been me, I would have been like, oh, baby, of course, come on.
Oh, my God, I can't wait.
Oh, my God, I love it. We haven't been to the park together in such a long time.
Yes.
How beautiful.
If I had dropped them off, I would have been like, oh, you get it? Like, I would have seen you walking, hey, baby. And then I would have probably walked inside.
Of course you would have. And I would have been like, oh, I wish he would have come home.
You're such a liar.
Or given me a kiss or something.
Oh, my God. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Expectations.
I would have been walking like this. With
it's almost like, yeah, that's what you're going to be. So we're going to go ahead and end it on that note. Guys, please, if you haven't subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.
Subscribe to the YouTube
Thanks to
channel.
Everybody listening and watching. We love you.
Thanks for those on Facebook and on YouTube. Exactly.
We're coming back on Wednesday.
Yes.
So we're going to do.
Yeah, we're doing Mondays. We're doing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah.
So they'll be live on Facebook and YouTube, and then for the most part, unless we have some kind of issue.
And Friday, we're going to have a Halloween special.
Oh, that's right. We're dressing up. I'll see if I can see in my mask. Well, not my mask, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what?
Goggles. Yes. Right. They'll be live, and then the actual episodes will be aired in a little bit on the same day. So.
Yep.
Anyways, I love you, baby.
I love you, my dear.
Let's get this
Always
music
and
going.
Forever.
It's taking too long because I have to fix that.
Forget about Kali, you guys. Go look her up.